Hi all, welcome to my lightning talk about making Kibana accessible. My name is Rashmi Kulkarni. I am a QA engineer who does manual as well as automation testing, mainly focused on Kibana and accessibility of Kibana. So I've been with this company for the last 6 years, and yeah, here we are talking about making Kibana accessible. I'm going to give you a quick review of what I mean by shipping an accessible product at Elastic means. Up in front of me is the accessibility statement. What do I mean by accessibility statement is that it is we give out this public statement in which we are going to tell you like this is the public statement which is available on GitHub and as well as on our Elastic website. So it as Elastic is committed to ensuring digital accessibility for people with all kinds of disabilities. We are continually improving this user experience of Kibana and striving towards using all the tools which are available like voiceover and tab features and many automated tools and everything to make Kibana accessible for everyone. So our core philosophy is we as Elasticians and Elastic as a company is very open-minded and inclusive of all walks in all our walks of life. We believe that even what the products we're shipping should be what we think we are, like what is it should be an extension of our company culture. So that is our accessibility statement, what we believe in, and that is out to the public. And this accessibility statement is WCAG. I mean, this product is WCAG compliant. I will let you know what is WCAG, AA standards, and all that. Broadly, it means that we are shipping a Kibana product which is usable by everybody by using assistive technology with people from all walks of life, like with whatever disabilities can use it. And in it should be our product should be supportive of whichever screens which the user is using. So in broad, we have put out the statement for public use. Kibana, as we know, is a UI interface. As I know Kibana, and as many people who are using this Kibana, it is perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. What I mean by this four things is it should be easy to use. The whole product should be not like very difficult on any different screens or anything. So we have made it very easy to use, and it is very operable in the sense that you can use it on any other VMs, or you can deploy it on any on a cloud instance, which I'm going to show you a little later. Like I spun up a cluster in like a few minutes. It is robust and it is understandable. So the screen in front of me is showing you a general lifeline, or how our journey has been through the accessibility. October of 2014, our first A11Y issue was created. Like what is A11Y? A11Y is the abbreviation for accessibility. So this gives you like the journey we have been through, and then we have the external auditors come in and then do a VPAT statement for us, which is publicly accessible by the federal government. It's mostly used by the federal government people even before they use our product. And then we started, since Kibana was huge, we started automating accessibility too, because everything by hand was simply impossible. So then we had the audits done too in October of 2020. We had an internal Kibana A11Y challenge. And then come Jan 2021, one of our first apps, which was Lens, sorry, I take it back. One of the first app which was fully accessible was Lens. It was not the first app, but it was the app which was fully accessible. So this is like the journey, and we have been improving upon this journey. So on the slide, I'm going to talk about a little bit about what is the intrinsics of accessibility, right? What does Section 508 and accessibility in Kibana mean? Section 508, the federal government clients, what we have for Elastic, which use Elasticsearch as a backend and Kibana as a front end, they need this 508 compliance at any cost. So we put out this VPAT statement, which was started as back as in 4.1, and we are keep on revising this VPAT statement. This is an external facing VPAT statement, which is like it gives you, I'm going to show you what it entails. Like the external auditor comes in and then takes a look at every each of our product, and then goes through how the forms of it, is it area label accessible, is the headers are being met, all those criteria are already audited in the VPAT statement here. So we have this accessibility statement, as I mentioned in before. I have put that out later too in the link section. And then comes the testing and the UI part of it. In the core of Kibana, we have used Axe Core library, which is integrated into our functional test runner. So because manual testing of this entire product was becoming a tedious job, although we do a good job at having a check on all the tests and using our test link repository, and we do a lot of manual testing too. But the core of our Kibana, the apps are by how we test accessibility is by integrating Axe Core library into our functional test runner. So every night, a whole suite of tests run on continuous integration for checking the accessibility failures. And then there is a meta issue which has been created to track the progress of automated and manual release, release after release. And so we find these bugs, we fix them, iterate them. Sometimes regression happens, but we do keep on iterating these bugs, and we keep on improving. So that's how our Lens app became more robust, and then it's usable, completely accessible right now. So EUI focus also was a strong focus. EUI is a public-facing GitHub repository where we have defined the accessibility guidelines. So so once we use these Axe Core libraries in our UI testing and use the data grids and all that, we are making sure that the whole of this feature or the app, what I call like a Lens app or a Visualize app or any other like dashboard app, we try to take one app and then go all for it and then make it EUI compliant by having all these Axe Core libraries tested in these. So for this EUI contribution, there has been a significant EU community contribution as well from the community. Like, what is accessible EUI? EUI, what I mean is Elastic UI. It's a component library, which is behind of all of this UI that we create at Elastic. The Kibana UI is very, very deep. So behind the scenes is we are using Elasticsearch EUI, what we call as. It handles a lot of accessibility concerns, whatever we have, like the forms field, the area labels, the headers, and the tabbing and everything. So once a PR passes the CI, we check that all these features are all these concerns what we have for accessibility are fulfilled by this EUI containing this EUI as well before this course are implemented. From Kibana to Elastic Load to every other team inside, internal to Elastic, we have this EUI accessible, and you can take a look at our accessibility guidelines, like what is these are like guidelines which are set in stone, which we incorporate for all our Kibana testing. So now, as I said in the before slides, Kibana has been growing and it has become big, right? So it is loaded with a lot of features. I won't go into each and every feature or like majority of the features, but I'm going to show you the salient features later on. But then I'm going to show you how diverse it is and how what are the features which make these apps accessible. Like, for example, there might be a field list. So for as you see in the this screen, index and field list region, right? So here, what it might be like, you can drag and drop, you can do the reordering of the controls from the available fields. You can do a duplicate or a swap action using the keyboards. And you can mouse actions are always available, and then keyboard actions. So you can use the arrow key, up and down key, and return key to to move across. So we make it easier for using the keyboard and using voiceover technologies to make it accessible. Like if you enable voiceover in your Mac or in your Windows, it guides for say, for example, people who have some vision impairment or from defects in hearing. They can use assistive technology, which helps them navigate through these breadcrumbs and makes it easier for them to move around in Kibana. So, and there are like drop zones, and there are like strong focus outlines, and there is a total parity between the mouse and the keyboard actions. So the screen reader, what I was talking about, is the voiceover, and it can be one thing about voiceover is it can be totally verbose, but for people who are using it, it is really a good assistive technology. And then like I said, let's jump into a demo. And before jumping into a demo, I want you to see this screen, where this is my cloud instance of Elastic Kibana, which I have spun up in just a couple of minutes. And then, as you see, this is the home page which I come to. And then let's just I've just loaded some sample data to be able to navigate and to be able to show you what kind of tab order this is. So there are Kibana ships with three sample data: e-commerce orders, flight data, and web logs. So you can see the view data immediately. So here I am on the dashboard screen with the preloaded data of e-commerce revenue dashboard. So instead of going to the dashboard, you can actually see what it is and what kind of data we are having in Discover. So let's see what kind of data we're having. Discover sample data e-commerce. This is the time range which I have selected, September, August 31st to 25th. So this is the so many things which came. So in the search bar, as you can see, I'm not using any mouse. I'm using this tab order. I am using the tabs work as and everywhere. And then if you have to select the price, you just enter, and then there's always assistive technologies here. So let me go to the one app which I wanted to show you, which is the Lens app. Let me create a visualization using Lens. So this is the simple Lens app. I might not call it simple. It looks simple, but it is really complex, easier to use though, but lots of features embedded. One thing about accessibility is the more the denser the page, the voiceover technology, if you use it, becomes more dense. But there is parity on while using the mouse and the keyboard. So here I am using autocomplete. Oh yeah. So this is the latest latest cloud instance which I'm using for a not released version, which is 7.15, which we are currently working on. So this is what I want to show you. Like if you select the flight number, this is the Kibana sample data flights. So these are the logs which are available. I mean, these are the sample data which is available, and these are the available fields which are available here. So now if I do a, so you can see available fields, meta fields, and empty fields. So these, if you just drop down this and then do a tab order and then say select, I'm not using any kind of mouse actions here, but I can easily navigate using breadcrumbs. And these headings, I also wanted to show you that there are some breadcrumbs which I keep creating. And these are also voiceover technologies will catch this and then read that out to the person who is using. And here too, yeah, I want to show you that if you're here, it is all keyboard accessible, everything. You can just drag or drop. So I'll just give you a random example of how you use back and forth tab order keys and up and down keys, and then display your charts. And this Lens app is a very powerful app. It gives you suggestions. It gives you all kinds of visualizations. If you want a vertical, horizontal, that's up to you, like how you want to stack it up, vertical stack or anything. But the whole point of showing you this is if you just see and inspect each of these panels, and then in the console, if you see the elements in the thing, all these have area labels, all these have the exact data test subjects. And all why I'm showing you this is because we use this a lot in automation to find the exact element in the HTML tree. So this app stands out as a very good app in for accessibility. That's why I wanted to bring up this one. So that's a small demo, but we can dig into it a little deeper and show you different things. But then what is, I'll move on. What is A11Y testing? So in A11Y is again accessibility, and why we do this kind of extensive testing is we want to incorporate all people of all walks of life who are using Kibana to be, to tell their story more visibly. And we from the QA team, we make testing of this process very early and often. So iterative testing finds regression bugs very often. So we cannot replace manual testing whatsoever. So using keyboard, we use in different operating systems, like on our continuous integration, we run this on a series of virtual machines of different operating systems of different screen sizes. And screen readers, magnifying software, screen magnifying software, all these are assistive technologies. And then at the core, we are using accessibility, Axe core. So these are some useful links I have put together. I just want to show you like what kind of a meta issue we from GitHub we all other links are here, but this is what I wanted to show you, like how we push accessibility in every release is like whether it is whether it can be a color palette, whether it can be paginations, whether it can be forms or radio groups. Everything is considered, and then we use this pattern to push accessibility. And once everything is done, this is just an example of how accessibility is taken is taken a lot of improvement, and how we give importance to this accessibility. And then yeah, all these are statements here, useful links here, which I have just thrown it in one of the slides. Yeah, so that's about it. And then yeah, at our core, from Elastic point of view, we want to include everybody in and make the lives of people who use our product very easy, even for whichever disability they may have. And Haben Girma is one of my favorite person, who is a very fierce advocate of accessibility. She says, don't assume what people with disabilities can or cannot do. There is nothing called as assumptions. Just assume that they will use your service and make your product and design it to be accessible by everyone. Our design team, our developers, our testing team, we all put together and we may want to make sure that Kibana, every part of Kibana is made accessible and deliver a quality product each and every time. That's about it. That was my presentation. And yeah, I'm open for questions or whatever.